2 days ago, Microsoft shipped Agent Framework version 1.0. Not a preview, not a release candidate, production ready. I checked YouTube this morning, almost nobody has covered it. So I spent the whole day reading the docs and the source, and I'm about to give you the entire thing in just 5 minutes. Before I start though, I need you to do one thing. Actually, it's two things. Subscribe and hit that like button, both buttons. I know you have heard this on every YouTube channel on the last decade. I'm asking anyway, and I'll tell you exactly why. I spent my entire day digging into tools that dropped yesterday, so you don't have to. Nobody pays me for this. The only way I know this video is worth making is if you hit those two buttons. If you don't, the algorithm assumes nobody cares, and I quietly stop getting to do this. So please pause for half a second, tap that subscribe, tap that like, and come back. I'll wait. Okay, let's actually talk about this thing. Here's what just dropped: Microsoft Agent Framework 1.0. Python, .NET, same APIs in both, and it's open source, built by the team behind Copilot. Four things I want you to remember. Released April 3rd. Supports Python and .NET as first-class languages, not one as an afterthought. Merges two of Microsoft's old projects, which is Semantic Kernel and AutoGen, into one single SDK. And it was built specifically for agents from day one, not retrofitted onto something else. That last part matters a lot. Quick history, because the context actually matters here. Microsoft had two separate agent projects. Semantic Kernel was the enterprise one, stable, structured, loved by .NET teams. On the other hand, AutoGen, which was the research one, multi-agent experiments, Python first, loved by researchers. Every dev I know who tried to use either one got stuck on the same question: which one do I actually pick? They had different APIs, different patterns, different mental models. Picking one felt like betting on the wrong house. Agent Framework 1.0 is Microsoft finally admitting the split was hurting everyone. One SDK, upgrade paths from both. You don't have to pick any more. There are three concepts in this framework. If you understand these three, you can build anything it lets you build. I'm going to walk you through each one with the actual code. Don't worry, it's simpler than you think. Concept 1: the chat agent, building block of everything. Look at this code. I want you to count the actual lines. Four imports, one agent, one call to run it. That's the whole thing. You give it a chat client, that's your connection to OpenAI or Azure. You give it instructions, that's the agent's personality. In this case, I'm telling it to be a senior Python engineer, be direct, no preamble. You give it a name and done. Then you call dot run with a question and you get back a result. 16 lines of Python, and that's a working agent. This is the part most tutorials spend an hour on. It's that simple. Concept number two: tools. This is where it stops being a chatbot and starts being actually useful. A tool is just a regular Python function. That's it. You write the function, you type in the arguments, you give it a docstring explaining what it does. Agent Framework reads the signature and exposes it to the model automatically. Here's a read file function, takes a path, returns the content, docstring says what it does. Then in the chat agent, you add one new field, tools equals a list with your function in it, and you update the instructions so the agent knows to use it. Now, when you ask the agent about a file, it doesn't just guess, it doesn't hallucinate. It calls your function, read the file, answers based on what's actually there. That right there is the difference between a chatbot and an agent. A chatbot just talks, an agent acts. Concept number three. This is the one that makes Agent Framework worth caring about. Multiple agents working together. Picture this: a code review crew. One agent looks at the security, another agent looks at the style and readability. Each one has its own personality, its own instructions, its own tools. They both review the same file and each returns their own scorecard. In Agent Framework, that's this code right there. A little helper function to build an agent with a specific role. Two agents: security reviewer, style reviewer. Once async IO, gather call to run them both at the same time. That last line is the real magic. Async IO.gather runs them in parallel, two agents reviewing the same code simultaneously. Takes about the same amount of time as running one agent, not twice as long. And this pattern scales: add a third agent for performance and add a fourth agent for accessibility. Chain them all sequentially if you want one agent's output to feed the next. This is the whole multi-agent story, and it fits in about 40 lines of Python. So what is this actually good for? It'll give you four real ones. One, automated code review, exactly the example I just showed you. Security agent, performance agent, all running on the same pull request. Two, customer support triage. One agent classifies the ticket, another drafts the reply, a third escalates to a human if confidence drops. Three, Research assistants. One agent searches the web, one summarizes, one does the fact check against the sources. Fourth, personal productivity crews. Agent reads your calendar, agent reads your email, agent writes your daily brief, each one focused, each one specialized. The pattern is the same every single time. Specialized agents beat one giant generalist. That's the whole insight. Should you actually use it? Here's my honest take. What's good? The API is clean, like really, really clean. Building an agent is three lines, adding a tool is just one function, running parallel agents is just one call. If you have used LangChain or the old semantic kernel, this feels like Microsoft just simplified everything into something insane. The docs are surprisingly good, real quick starts, working samples in both Python and .NET. They actually took their time with this release. What's not perfect, it still assumes you have an OpenAI or other key handy, no local model option out of the box, though you can wire in if you know what you're doing. And honestly, the framework has way more depth than I could cover today. There's a whole executor system for sequential workflows, middlewares, providers, all stuff you'll find once you dig. Would I use it? If I'm building on other or inside a Microsoft stack, 100% I will be using it. This is the best first party agent framework Microsoft has ever shipped. If I'm starting completely fresh and I just want a quick Python agent, I'd probably still grab Claude Agent SDK first. But Agent Framework is closing that gap fast. By the next release, it might flip entirely. That's Microsoft Agent Framework 1.0 in 5 minutes. Released 2 days ago, almost nobody on YouTube has covered it yet. You now know more about it than 99% of developers. If this was useful and you still haven't hit that subscribe and like, please do it now. Seriously. It's the only reason I can keep covering stuff on day 1 instead of day 30. What would you actually build with this? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. See you in the next one.